The way we started here was to give the 5, 6 fundamentals of any business. I don't think there's any business of yours that has more than 5, 6 important numbers. There's no one that has 72 important numbers. There's 4 or 5. The number of people, or the number of this, or the number of sales, or the number of units, or something, and that's it. There's nothing else that really matters. No? And so we go through the process of sitting with people and saying, here's what really matters in the hotel business. Occupancy, cost, okay, go. And then we explain each one a little bit and so forth. So by starting with the basics, that now they have the same comprehension as us of everything that matters. Everything that's below that starts becoming tribal. It's very anthropological in the companies. No? The marketing tribes, the finance tribes, they talk in different tribal languages, right? If I dare you, anybody here, to take a balance sheet, published balance sheet, and we talk about open information, published balance sheet, which I give to you, and to tell me what that company's payroll is. I can give a 300-page report, annual report. You cannot tell me what the payroll of that company is. Because part of it is in one line, part of it is variable cost, part of it is in there, part of it is deferred to the future, part of it is paying the past. I have no idea. And this is an enormous amount of information, but this tribe of accountants has set this up in such a complex form that you can't read it. Right? If I give you a legal notice of a company, you have no idea whether they're doing it, they're not doing it, they're planning to do it, they're not going to do anything, they're going to do everything. You're going to read through that legal notice? You have not the slightest idea. If I give you to sign and say you want to buy shares of this new company, sign this. You're just going to sign. Or you're going to read the 92 pages and understand what problems you were going to get into later that you never figured out. And so these tribes are very active in preserving their own language, their own conversation. And none of this is accessible to the employees. So keeping to the main 4 or 5 things, 6 things, is the only way in which they can all concentrate on what matters. You know? And so it's not hard to do. Once you do that, you can choose a few lines or a few metrics that are financial or others, and that you start sharing these. But the real question comes when you say the following. You think about how people really move. One of them is, what does someone else make? This is big information for humankind. It's kind of irrelevant, but it's a big issue for our vanity. And you've seen this so many times, the studies which say that somebody would rather make 10% more than their neighbor than to make 30%, which is 10% less than their neighbor. This is again and again and again, humankind is tested on this. It only has a comparison with other human beings. It has no absolute relative values. They're all relative purely. So when you say to the housekeeper how much another housekeeper or manager makes, this is when it starts getting interesting. Because the metrics of occupants, so far, they take well. But they don't take that well the issue of, well, wait a second, I work harder than that person, why am I making less? So this is a big issue that starts to come into place, and which is very valuable, because that one, I don't see the real risk of you starting to move. You can't, no reason to do it overnight, but you can move this slowly. If you cannot defend the differences in salaries, something's wrong. Because there's no reason for someone not to make 100 times more. You just have to be able to explain it. They make 100 times more because if you want to go and do what the person does, you also make 100 times more.